Hello, and welcome to the Media Bubble Podcast, the podcast that talks about movies, anime, comics, video games, and whatever we feel like. I'm your host, Karol, and with me as always is my co-host, Fredrik.
Hello.
In today's episode, we are going to talk about the best of 2021.
Yeah, it's kind of something that we are going to attempt to do every year. It's kind of our favorite things, media related to the previous year.
Exactly, and we included some categories such as, anime, movies, games, TV series, manga.
Kind of our intro.
Exactly.
We have TV series, anime/manga, video games and film.
Yeah, and we also were talking about including something good that happened this year.
Yeah, kind of struggle a bit with that one, but...
Yeah, it was a horrible year.
No, I feel like it's a weird year because if we had done this list last year, which we kind of planned to do, but that didn't happen, I would have such an easier time making this list. I'm not really sure what it is specifically about 2021, but I just felt like nothing really happened this year.
For me, I had a lot of life stuff happen. In between a lot of going to my homeland. But when it comes to...
Maybe we not really take up this here.
Yeah,
Or do we want to take it up?
No. I think you have a right idea. I don't want to bring bummer energy to this podcast, especially on the episode where we're trying to recount the good things. Yeah, but let's try not to bring bummer energy to this to this episode. We are here to celebrate all the good things that happened this year.
Yeah, all the fun things, you can say.
Yeah, so we can lead off with a strong part of what do you think? TV series?
Yeah, we are going to begin with TV series, which is kind of weird because any other year's TV series would have been my weakest subject, because I don't really watch a lot of TV series. But this year it's weirdly one of my strongest subjects this year. And the show that I have kind of chosen to what became my most favorite show was one of the year's earliest show, WandaVision, which is the first Marvel production TV show on Disney Plus, and I just kind of felt like it had such an unique kind of premise, which they kind of take in old sitcoms from every decade and making an episode out of it with superhero themes and Wanda Maximoff's kind of life and how tragic it is in some way. Spoiler warnings for all of these, I guess.
Yeah, spoilers.
But have you heard anything of WandaVision?
Well, I still haven't gotten Disney Plus, but I've heard pretty good views about it.
I've seen a lot that the show got also a lot of nomination from different things, which kind of, I guess, makes you feel more comfortable that this was a really good show. But I kind of just felt like it was one of the most unique kind of premises I have seen, and I had a lot of fun with seeing all the different takes on the different areas of televisions, I guess. I feel like the 3 last episodes kind of lost the focus on that kind of television theme, but and kind of just came to a normal Marvel series, but it was still kind of unique and fun. I feel like Wanda kind of finally became the Scarlet Witch, and Vision I guess they kind of brought Vision back in some way.
What? Wait, how? Wait. Roll back the tape. What?
In the last episode, they kind of rebuild the Vision robot without his memories, but he kind of got access to those memories anyway, so I guess that maybe leaves in the future maybe that Vision will return. I'm not exactly sure, but
yeah, because otherwise, if I was Wanda, that would just be creepy. Just trying to rebuild my dead husband, but he has the memories, but he's not.
She
really
kind
my
of did
husband.
that in the first episode. Like
See?
this show, you kind of realize in the end of the show that the whole town, how this is created, is kind of Wanda's what's the word called,
Cognition?
breakdown.
Oh shit. Wait, so is it like a physical space, or where is... Tell me more about WandaVision.
Well, that's the fun thing, I guess, is that you kind of... In the first episode, you kind of have a lot of question of what is happening here. And while the series goes on, a lot more questions are answered, and yeah, it's kind of is... it really is Wanda's show, you can say, because she has had a lot of people die on her in the past, and that's kind of, I guess, her dealing with that in this show.
Holy smokes. Okay, so I just wrote WandaVision on my 2C list.
So that of all the shows I watched this year, this is probably my favorite. What do you have, Karol?
So I just wanted to mention before and now also as well, we are only including the media released this year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So for my pick of the TV series would be Centaur World.
What did you say?
Centaur World. It's a Netflix animated TV series. The first season dropped on July this year, and the season 2 dropped just this December, and I'm watching it currently. So the series follows a rider and a horse, called respectively Rider and Horse, and they live in this desolate, post-apocalyptic world, but fantasy tinged. And one day, as the bugbears attack, they are separated, and Horse wakes up in Centaur World. So Centaur World is a complete opposite of this dramatic and gritty and black and white world where everything is a centaur. Llamas are centaurs, giraffes are centaurs, the birds are centaurs, the bugs are centaurs, the clouds are also centaurs. Everything is smiling, everyone is singing, it's also a musical.
Yeah, I kind of see a lot of songs in this list here.
Yeah, and I think it's a fun juxtaposition because in a lot of episodes we deal with like inner emotions of Horse, because she feels that she betrayed her rider by coming here, and she desperately searches for her best friend, but she's stuck here with in this wacky cartoon world, and she is trying to say people, hey, there is a war going out there, you kind of need to help me get back to my rider. And it's wacky, it's fun, and they have good songs. And the season 2 just came out this December, and it continues the plot. So at the end of season 1, they summon the Nightmare King, who is just made of this deer skull mask, and it's just full of sludge, and he mashes up different animals and beings into these soldiers that are bent on hell war domination. But we also have Centaur World, where people tweeting, and and a whole village made of cats that dance and try to pull out fun stunts.
I gotta say, I've never actually heard of this show, but just seeing it and hearing the premise, I kind of feel like, yeah, this is a show that Karol would watch.
It's really good. And I mean, as you, I had struggled to see what did release this year that I was interested in. It was either this or Chicago PD, but I don't know if it released this year.
I don't think it did.
Like Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, it's like the one thing going on in my family right now. It's the series everyone watches.
Actually, this year was the opposite of for me, because I usually don't watch TV series, but this year I weirdly enough I watched a lot of TV series this year.
Yeah, I haven't watched none. I haven't even caught up to Drag Race, which is my usual like on the
that's
on the
surprising.
List. Yeah, like it's All-Star 6 is going strong, and I don't know who is competing and what is happening.
How could you, Karol?
I know, I am letting down my drag queen superstars.
But the Centaur World show, is this a show that is supposed to look like it's happy and everything, but it has a dark side to it?
I would say yes, because in season 2, Horse gets a magic power. Her power is to get into people's backstories. So she jumps full speed ahead and jumps into people, and she learns of their past. And a lot of the characters in the main like group, they are really like scarred. For example, the giraffe dude, he has been like mistreated his whole childhood by his parents that don't really let him evolve into like being himself. We have Mama Wink, who her whole village was destroyed by monsters and she was the only survivor. We have the bird guy whose dreams of knighthood were crushed when he was just like used as a toy, and he was like denied him being a centaur, like. And then we have like Xylus, I think the zebra dude. We never learn his backstory.
Oh.
Because even he tells like, come on horse, see my backstory. It's so tragic and emotional. We don't see it.
Yeah. Something that I'm noticing here while looking at the cast is that Josh Radnor is in the cast list, which is kind of he's the main character of Ted Mosby on How I Met Your Mother, and if there is one show Karol talks to me about quite a lot, it's How I Met Your Mother.
Wait, who does he play?
As Durpleton, a naive, friendly giraffe like centaur. He's the gentlest of the herd.
Him! I never picked up on it.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't. Oh my god, that changes a little bit of stuff. But I actually forgot to mention, like, this one deal with Centaur World is that because Horse is traveling through this world, the magic inside begins to affect her. So she begins to like change physically and like to begin like having these soft, cuddly shapes. And in season 2, when the giraffe adopts a minion of the undead king's army as his son, he also transforms. It's just like, what?
Okay.
Yeah, but enough about Centaur World. You should go see it. Anime. Did you watch any anime this year?
Not a lot. This is probably my worst anime year ever, to be quite honest. Like, throughout the whole year, there might have been one show I watched. And, like, in like the last 2 weeks of this year, I started to watch a bunch of shows just to see what I liked that came out this year, and there was one show that actually stood a bit out for me, and that's my pick of the year, which is called The Case Study of Vanitas.
Study of Vanitas.
Yeah. What I can tell you about the show is that it's a vampire show. It has 12 episodes and a season 2 coming next year. And it's about this Book of Vanitas. And the Book of Vanitas is... it was created by a vampire that was born on the blue moon, while most of the other vampires are born on the red moon. Whatever that means. And he kind of got, I guess, bullied because of that fact a lot of as a kid, and kind of as a, I guess, a revenge tool. He created the Book of Vanitas, and that's kind of what our two main characters are kind of. They have this book and they try to solve the problems with that is going on with the vampire, why they are suddenly becoming so aggressive and bloodthirsty.
Oh, holy shit! It's made by Square Enix manga.
Yeah, look at that. I didn't know that. And so this is kind of the show that I guess in this 2 week of me benching shows, this is the kind of one that I like the most. It has kind of a fun setting with Paris, and there's a vampire version of Paris, which they kind of go to at some point.
I'm looking at pictures of anime. Like all I'm seeing right now is just a really pretty boy.
Yeah, there's 2. There's one character, the guy with white hair, that is called No, who's kind of the main character of the show. He's a vampire that his master told him to go and look for the Book of Vanitas, and the Book of Vanitas is currently in the hands of Vanitas, who is got his name from his, I guess, master, and he currently controls the Book of Vanitas, and he's a human, and he's trying to I guess help these vampires in this kind of mystery of why vampires are suddenly starting to get so bloodthirsty.
Okay, well I think I want to check it out. Like I never say no to pretty boys, and also I've been like on a little bit of a vampire phase lately. I felt like I want to read something about vampires.
Oh, okay. So that was my favorite anime of the year.
Yeah, and I think it was a great pick. Okay, on my end, I wrote Jujutsu Kaisen, but I don't know if it's legal.
Let's see.
When anime was released? Let me see.
Jujutsu Kaisen, I think that was last year, to be honest.
Yeah, but it didn't finish airing until 2021. That's why I said it's technically...
have you found that? Yeah, you're correct there.
Yeah.
How are we going to count this?
So that's gonna be a theme with my picks.
Okay.
The thing is, I haven't seen all of it, so I don't think it's gonna count with how far I've seen it.
I guess we can count this I guess we can count this because you don't have another choice, do you?
I do. Pretty Boy Detective Club. It released this year, but I haven't seen it yet anyway.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I was not watching anime this year.
Not me really either.
I think for me, the hole that the anime usually filled is filled with VTubers. Because it's related, because a lot of it's anime characters and they talk a lot about anime and video games, and it's kind of the same for me.
Also, when I kind of watch animes, I usually go back to some older animes that I haven't watched yet. Yeah,
and for example, I really enjoyed the anime that you recommended to me on this podcast. The Guide to Hostel Clubs.
Oh, right. That happened.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it, and I wanted to talk about it, but it's not. It was released a bit far back.
Yeah, that's kind of. I guess a thing with this list is that it isn't what we have watched this year. It's kind of what released this year.
Movies?
No, I think it's video games now.
Okay, shoot.
Actually, I have started for the last 2 segments. Do you want to start this one?
Yeah. So, I've picked up a few games, and you're gonna decide which one fits. So first of them is a mobile game called Project Sekai Hatsune Miku Colorful Stage.
Did it release 2021?
Yes, because it released this winter.
Then I guess it technically counts.
Yeah, so it's a rhythm game, something akin to Love Live. You have songs, like Vocaloid songs, sung by Vocaloids and like units. So in this game, you follow the story of 5 units: Night Court at 25 a.m., Wonderland Showtime, Leonid, Vivid Bat Squad, and and more Jump Jump. So all of it's interesting because it's a rhythm game that I loved, and it also has a very strong visual novel element to it.
Oh, okay.
So with each unit that you have, not unit as in character, just like unit, which is a group of characters, all of them have their own original story written to them. So for example, the Night Court girls, one of them is struggling because her father is in a hospital. The other one feels like a marionette because her parents are encroaching on her decisions and she feels powerless to do anything. There's one girl that feels inadequate because her father is a great artist and she feels the only validation she gets is from her looks. There's this one girl who feels that she can't be herself because she dresses differently.
There was a lot more story to this than I was expecting.
It's only one group. Like every single group has like 4 characters and they have like different motivations, different drives, and events that come out advance the story. So the current story is so the current finished events that I cared about was the marionette one, which one of the girls that feels strained by her family, she also feels that because she can't really decide for herself, she feels that she doesn't have any emotions. And they go to this doll exhibit where she suddenly feels disgust and anger and just faint from the sight of the dolls. So they try to understand why she feels like this. And through music, through writing lyrics, she begins to understand her own feelings. There was also this Leonid event, Stella Before the Rain, where one of the members, when she was little, she was in the hospital for a really long time. And there were 4 friends. Once Saki went to the hospital, the friendship group broke off and they never spoke to each other. And it's not really explained until later in the story what happened, but because Saki was stuck in the hospital, she missed a lot of the childhood things you do, like go out with friends, go to planetariums, eat ice cream, and she feels like she needs to push herself to live in the moment because she wanted to make up for the time that she lost in the hospital.
Oh, okay.
Like, you can see that they put a lot of thought in the story of these characters, and it's only 2 groups I'm talking about. And the songs are great, the characters are lovely. Please, I just want these girls to be so happy.
Okay.
I don't want them to be depressed. Please get them a therapist.
Make them happy for 2022.
Please. So yeah, I've been playing it non-stop since it came out.
Oh, okay.
And if my mobile game didn't go through, I also could have said Final Fantasy XIV because the patch also came out this year.
Okay.
And what was your game?
I looked at a list of video games released this year because sometimes it get confusing what released this year and what was released last year.
Same.
And something that I discovered about this year is that I didn't really feel like a lot of games released this year, weirdly enough. Because I was looking at the list and I was like, there's Metroid Dread. I haven't played that. Guardians of the Galaxy. I haven't played that either.
Even though you own it.
Yeah, but I got it for Christmas.
It's true.
I haven't had enough time to play it yet. I have played the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond remake, but kind of odd to say that would be my favorite game of the year. But I actually did play one game that I felt was really, really good, and it released this year, and that was Tales of Eurasia.
I think I saw the packaging at your house.
Yeah.
And I think it's like an action RPG kind of deal.
It kind of feels like you're playing an anime in some way.
I've also heard it has Kirito and Asuna DLC.
Maybe. I haven't gotten that far. I haven't gotten that far into this game, to be honest. But if I just compare with everything else I have played this year, this one wins kind of easily, because while I haven't gotten too far into it, I have enjoyed my time playing it as far as I have come.
I think that's important actually. Like if you don't have to fully play the game to know if you're enjoying yourself.
One thing about games that releases now also is that they are so long as well. Like when I was a kid, I remember you could finish a game in like 4 hours, and those kind of games I feel like doesn't exist anymore.
I think I disagree. I think if you're looking for a shorter experiences, you should probably look at indie games.
I have a problem actually enjoying indie games, even games that have been praised a lot. I still have kind of a hard time having fun with those.
Oh, for example, what games did you struggle with?
I played some platforms indie games like Ukulele and A Hat in Time, games that I have heard been praised a lot. So I gave it a shot, and I didn't really have as much fun as I thought I would. Same with Shovel Knight, and one game that I enjoyed actually a lot that was an indie game was Cuphead.
Yeah, we played it a few days ago.
Yeah, that was a really fun game, and not just the visual of it, but the whole boss battle system was kind of fun as well.
We struggled so much with the slime.
Yeah, which it kind of showed that I haven't played it in a long time. But anyway, the tale of Eurasia, and the story kind of is, there was this nation which kind of got invaded by another nation and took over, and then they are kind of 100 years later, and there's 5 different areas of this land, which I guess you kind of are supposed to defeat all the kind of rulers of each land and get the land back. That kind of is a bit of the story.
Aren't one of the rules like joining you for adventure too? The redhead one.
Redhead one?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a red? I haven't.
Oh my god! I am not gonna talk. I can't talk to you about the game because I will spoil it for you. I actually know a little bit of information that you don't not know.
Yeah, I haven't really checked out much of the story. Maybe.
Yeah, I am zipping my zip.
As I said, I haven't come that far yet into it. Oh yeah, there is a red-headed character. No, I haven't gotten to him yet.
Okay, I am not spoiling.
Also, when I play, I like to take my time a lot. So sometimes it takes a lot of time to move the story for me forward, because I kind of like just taking my time and exploring each of the places that you're in.
Same. I can understand.
I kind of like to talk with every NCPU, even if they don't really say anything interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I have the same tick in Final Fantasy. The good thing is a lot of side quests that are not necessary are written well enough, and some of them are pretty cool for fleshing out the world. But I have this oh, there's a lot of markers on my map. I have to do them.
So,
by the way, did you play Undertale? Deltarune Chapter 2?
No.
Oh God, please play Deltarune. It's so good.
You have never really talked to me about this game before.
Oh, I will. Just not on this episode.
Okay. Well, to our last category, which is movie release this year. What do you have, Karol?
So, not counting Far From Home, the only other movie I saw released this year was The Wishing Dragon.
Oh, okay. What did you feel about that one?
I mean, it's included on the list. It was pretty neat. It was a pretty cute story about this guy finding a lamp, and instead of lying that he's rich, no, he lied that he was rich. Well, he lied that he was rich, but the girl didn't mind because they were good friends in the first place, and they regained that connection.
I have heard that this movie is kind of a stage for stage rip-off of Aladdin.
I wouldn't say that. You can't say it's not similar since it involves wish-granting dragons and wish-granting genies. But I think, it's also a little bit more modernized. But I feel like Aladdin and the main character in Wishing Dragons are two different people. And the concept is also a little bit twisted since they are friends. They have been friends. But because the girl's father decided that it's uncool to associate with plebs, he moved them out of the place they lived. It's a little bit of a commentary about class and what's really important, which is your friends and family.
Oh, okay. So this was one of the few films you watched this year.
If not the only.
Okay. Actually, do we want to know what this film has on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, go ahead.
On the critic side, it has 65%. And in the audience side, which I feel is the more important statistic, is it has 79%.
Yeah. As you said, a lot of people can see it as a beat-for-beat retelling of Aladdin, but I feel it's pretty good, even if you have seen Aladdin.
So, my favorite film of this year of 2021. I have seen a couple of films. I don't really feel like there's a film that I gravitated so much to this year, but my favorite film of this year is a Disney film called Raya and the Last Dragon. Which...
Oh yeah, I've seen some images of this movie online.
Which I kind of realized right now while I told you that both our favorite films has a dragon in it.
I think it was unfortunate that they released the same year, because I feel
this film was going to be released 2020, but I think everyone know what happened that year.
The C word happened.
Yeah. But this film is kind of a Disney film. When I watched it, the animation reminded me of Walt Disney Studios, but the story is, I feel, is more of, it's kind of more of an adventure story than what you usually see Disney do. And yeah, it was kind of a fun film. It's about Raya, who there's kind of a curse on this land that for some reason turns a lot of people into stone, and Raya needs to get find this dragon who she finds years later while she's in the beginning of the movie she's maybe 10, and then some time passes. 6 years I read here, so 6 years passes, I guess, and she finally finds this dragon who's supposed to help her, named Sisu, played by Aquafina, and the dragon is kind of jokey, kind of genie type of character, I feel like, and they are then traveling the rest of the land to find 5 pieces to restore their land, you can say, and free the world of the curse.
I mean, it sounds interesting, but I didn't feel like the movie made enough of a splash. It after it's released, it hasn't been really like making waves the same way other like Tangled or Frozen movies did.
It's kind of hard to make waves in like they did because of the times we live in. This is not a musical either. It's kind of more of an adventure story, as I told you, but I kind of just like the more kind of adventure style feeling of the movie.
Would you recommend me to see it?
Yeah, I felt it's a... I probably would. I feel like it's a pretty good Disney film. I'm not really sure how you are on adventure films.
I'm pretty okay with them, to be honest.
Yeah, then I would say that you can probably watch this, because I feel like I've seen some animated film this year, and this kind of stuck out to me because it feels more mature than other Disney films as well. Raya kind of has a rival with another girl from another tribe who she kind of fights all the time, and yeah, there's tension between them.
But like cute tension or mean tension?
Mean tension.
Ooh,
like
an enemy.
Like they want to kill each other.
Ooh, enemies to lovers?
There isn't really any kind of love interest in this film. I kind of feel like Disney are almost trying to avoid love interest in their latest movies. But yeah.
Quick question. How do you feel about the design of the dragon?
It's kind of supposed to be, I guess, the film takes inspiration of Chinese folk tales, if I remember correctly, and maybe this dragon is supposed to, I guess, look more of the Chinese dragon. I don't know. It's an okay look. It kind of looks that way because it's supposed to have a bit of a more jokey tune, and I don't know. I guess it works for what it's supposed to do. Because I told you the other films Rotten Tomato score, would you like to hear these films?
Yeah. Let's
see. The film is 1 hour and 48 minutes. Critic score is 94%. And the audience score is 88%.
So still a pretty well-liked movie. Cool. I might give it a watch then.
That's kind of my favorite film of this year. Some other films that I watched that I kind of liked was Spider-Man No Way Home, which we talked recently about, and there was another Marvel film called Shang-Chi
and the 12 Rings?
Yeah, that one. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Rings. That I felt also was a pretty good film. I haven't watched I feel like I haven't watched a lot of critically films that kind of are Oscar bait films this year.
You know what? I can't name a single Oscar bait movie this year. Okay, maybe I know. The one with DiCaprio about the asteroid that is supposed to kill us, but nobody cares.
Maybe. I don't know myself either. Like, This year, it's not that I lost interest in movies. I wouldn't say that. I just don't know really what has released this year. That has been like that universally praised.
Yeah, so listeners, if you listen, you can send us suggestions. We will welcome them.
Like it's kind of weird in some way to do this episode kind of now, because I usually find out the kind of critical movies of the years in like around the Oscar period of when are the Oscars actually? Is it February or?
Let me see. Oscars.
Because that's usually around the year when I find out what those kind of movies are.
But you know what? Are Oscars even like? Do they even mean anything now?
Not really.
They're just like symbolic, and not even that. Like nobody really cares about an Oscar anymore.
Yeah, not really. I feel like I guess it's still cool to win an Oscar. Like I would take one if I got one, but
like if you have to, you can take an Oscar. I feel like.
Yeah, but I don't really feel like people are making movies to, I guess, win Oscars.
Actually, I wrote a little bit of a list of movies that came out 2021, and I haven't seen. I still want to see.
What's on that list then?
So it's Sing 2, which came out just recently, because I enjoyed Sing 1. House of Gucci with Lady Gaga. The Hating Game, which is like a rom-com about two office/industry workers, and they hate each other, but they don't really, because there's like a spark between them. Cruella, which I haven't seen, and I really want to see her mom being killed by the Dalmatians.
Oh, I have seen that one.
You have? Oh my god, is it any good?
It's okay. Probably one of the better Disney live-action remakes.
Then I will see it, and we can talk about it. And
Let's
the
see
Suicide Squad, the one that came out just recently.
I heard that that one is supposed to be kind of fun. What has released more this year actually? Let's see, Tom Hanks' Finch, Tick Tick Boom, The Power of the Dog, Dune.
I still haven't seen Dune, and there was like a lot of buzz about Dune, and
I know that a lot of people like that film, but I haven't watched it, so don't really have an opinion of it yet.
We might have to see Dune.
Well, what is Dune about, actually?
No idea. About a desert and sandworms.
Oh. Let's see, Jungle Cruise released this year. Yeah, I don't really know. I feel pretty good with Raya and the Last Dragon as my pick, actually, because I feel like it's a really good movie and probably the best Disney adventure film that I maybe have seen.
You know what? Maybe I feel like the best move would to be actually include Jungle Cruise, because that would mean that you have seen 3 Rocket Dwayne Johnson movies where he acts in the jungle.
I also seen Red Notice starring Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, wait, what's the movie called?
Red Notice.
Red Notice. Let me see.
I also seen Free Guy this year.
I haven't, but I imagine it's good. It got Ryan Reynolds in it.
If you're noticing a theme, I have watched a lot of films that came out on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I mean, like as much as I like to shit on like Disney and it's just like power of money, Disney Plus has a lot of good movies to watch.
Oh yeah, Space Jam 2 released this year.
Let's not talk about Space Jam. Okay.
We were planning on making an episode of it once.
We still can. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I just don't want to ruin the magic of the original.
Okay, but anyway, that was our favorite things of 2021.
Wait. before we go, one good thing that happened in 2021.
Yeah, for me that's kind of a weird pick this, but I would say actually our podcast that we finally started this, because we have talked some years about doing a podcast, but we never really started, and this year we actually did it. And I have kind of had a lot of fun with it. I feel like we have just started it, even if...
It's been going on for half a year.
Yeah, I feel like we have just started it, even if we have like done 20 episodes.
Yeah, and I share that sentiment too, because it's like, it's just fun to get in a call and just talk about movies.
Yeah, and it's kind of an opportunity for us to do things that we normally, I guess, wouldn't do. Because why would we do a tournament about chocolate and fruits?
Why would you watch the new Jumanji movie?
I had watched those films before.
And you're brave. You're doing God's service.
Oh, thank you.
You deserve a medal.
What's yours then?
I feel like starting a podcast would also count into like the good thing that happened in 2021. Yeah, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna agree with you, and that's the one thing that came out good of this year.
Yeah, let's see what will come out next year. That will be good.
Yeah.
Karol is going to teach me about the Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh hell yeah! You're gonna have a close proximity training this New Year's.
Yeah, let's see how that goes.
But I think
next episode of Media Bubble podcast, Fredrik talks about Dungeons and Dragons
and why he hates it.
Yeah.
A 2-part series. No. I think you're gonna have fun.
Okay, let's see.
So, any New Year's resolutions, or do you want to end here?
No, I feel good with ending it here.
Yeah. So, listeners, thank you for staying with us this full half a year. It's been really fun just working on this podcast, and I hope you also enjoyed yourself listening.
Yeah, and we're going to try to improve even more for next year.
Yeah, like me getting a desk. I am recording all of this from my bed. I don't even have a desk in my room.
Yeah, we are figuring things out as we go through this podcast.
Yeah. So, as always, thank you all for listening, and we hope you enjoyed it as much as we have.
We have.
Don't forget to follow, hit that bell icon, or follow us on socials like Twitter. See you again next episode and next year, and have a wonderful day.
Yeah, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
Goodbye.